these are the ones that I've come up with, and there probably are more. This is not the ultimate list, but this is the list that came to me. Living in creativity. The first thing that happens when you get baptized in the Spirit is that you become aware of things that you did not realize in terms of your own gifts and talents. Okay, I remember, I use this example, when before I was baptized in the Spirit, Father Ambrosi was a priest friend of mine. He said, Mike, I'm making a poster, and I'd like you to draw a picture of it. It's you know, something having to do with Jesus, and you know, having to struggle. We have to struggle with our own addictions and things like that. So, you know, I studied anatomy and things like that. I've read a lot, but I was not proficient by any means in anatomical development. How to put a hand together, and you know, how to make it look like this, and all that stuff. And I practiced, but was by no means proficient. Well, I started working on a picture of Jesus, trying to get through a wall, and the wall was all of our, you know, sins, you know. And as I began to draw that, it was perfect. The anatomy was absolutely perfect. And I knew I could not do that. It was beyond my pay grade. And I just began to cry, you know, because I was having an experience of the new creation in the creation right now. You see, God works in the creation now for us to be aware of his new creation all around us. Okay? That's why I try to spend a little time outside looking at nature every day. Because creativity is percolated generally in the morning. New thoughts come into your head before you've had a chance to think of other things. So try to set morning time aside, at least it's for me now, because I fill my mind with all the things I'm supposed to do during the day. But in the morning, and this is biblical too, Jesus went out and prayed. In the morning is a really good time for me because I haven't filled my mind with all the things I have to do yet. And I can just be present to creation around me. So I encourage people to sit outside if you'd like, or any other place where you find the little altar you have in your house, or a little place where you can focus. And take some time in prayer and see what God will create in you. He will give you a new idea. Maybe it's an idea you haven't thought about before. Maybe it's a picture that comes into your mind, so I'm going to draw that. Maybe it's a poem that you want to write down a few thoughts and work on. But let God speak to you out of creativity, because creativity is the movement of God in the world of the created order now. And the new creation is breaking into this creation right here. So when you pray for a person that the Lord would make that medication that they're taking useful to them. The doctor's prescribed it, but it may not be of use because the body may reject it. When you ask the Lord to make all of these things that the doctor's doing helpful for this person's recovery and useful in the creation that is going on now, to make it new, so that God's movement in Christ can speak into the creation we're living in now with the new creation. So I give you that example from my own experience, how God, just taking whatever hobby you work in, God will speak to you in that. So do something regularly for yourself so that you can be comforted in the new creation through creativity. If you like to sing,